Okay, let's see here. We should, in theory, be going live. Looks like we got a video up here. All right, let's kick this off. Live video is starting. All right, we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I went out and checked out a property down in Renton, Washington. It was a wreck. Oh my gosh, this thing needs so much work. It's crazy. Seller said 80K reno max, and I went down there and got eyes on it, and I'm like, no way. There is no way this thing is going to only be 80K. So it's looking more like 125, in which case I don't think the numbers that the seller is wanting is going to work. But we got some people running numbers on it. This guy bought it at a foreclosure auction a number of months ago, had to evict the previous occupant. He's got hard money loan on there. And I think this deal probably is only going to make sense for a developer. The lot's big enough where they could put additional units on the back of it. And with the zoning laws changing here in Washington, potentially have 4 total units on this property. So there's the house on the front of the lot, could potentially put another 3 units back there next year. But it was a bit crazy, the condition that this thing was in. So yeah, it was a bit worse than the pictures made it look like. But that's the case a lot of times, right? The initial pictures that you see are usually not going to tell the full story about what is going on with the property, and you're not going to capture a lot of things in those pictures. So it's always a good idea to go check it out or have somebody else go check it out for you. So we'll see what happens with this one. But as of right now, it's not looking like we're probably going to be able to sell it for what the seller's wanting. And so he's likely going to be listing the property. So I don't know if I'm laggy or not. The video on my screen keeps freezing up. I don't know if it's just my laptop that's freezing or the internet's having issues, or if it's the streaming software that's having issues. So I don't know if people out there are watching. You could drop a comment maybe and let me know how this video looks. But on my side, it looks like it is not so hot, but maybe, as I said, it's just the laptop. But anyway, we got a number of deals that came in over the weekend here. And so I figured I'd just jump on a Facebook Live and start taking a look at what we got and what might be a deal, what might not be a deal, and just start knocking these guys out. So we had 16 deals come in since Friday, actually a 17th deal, and that one was actually locked up. I was able to get that one under contract. That was from an agent who's been working with the seller. A seller wants to sell it off market, and I can talk a little bit about that deal in a second here, maybe after we go through the rest of these. So what I'm going to do is select the deals that we have in Podio that are waiting for review. And the team has been crushing it with outreach. So we use a combination of Go High Level and and just outreach on Facebook Messenger, connecting with people. So let's see here. The first one we have here is in Tacoma. This one was actually entered on Thursday, it looks like. So first thing I start out doing is I go to Pelago to get an idea of what the ARV will look like. Yeah, the internet here seems very slow. I'm at a co-working space today. Wow, this thing was nice when it was all brand new. Oh, I've seen somebody marketing this on Facebook already. I recognize that picture. So yeah, this guy's asking 400. Pelago's saying ARV is 460. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, this one sold for 420 and it was a bit smaller, so adjusted, yeah, maybe 460. This one for 400. So, all right, maybe mid 400s is Messenger here, connecting with people. Okay, so even if mid 400s is doable here, this guy is asking for 400. So, I mean, with transaction costs, this isn't going to be a deal for a cash buyer. Now, the wholesaler, so even if this is not a deal, I want to get this wholesaler into my follow-up campaign, right? Because what I want to do is hit him up and say, like, hey, thanks for sending this deal over. Unfortunately, it's not something that's going to work for us, nor do I think it's going to work for any of the other investors I work with. But do you have anything else available or coming up right now that we could take a look at? And unfortunately, my guy didn't put what wholesaler it was in here, so I'm gonna have to follow up with them and get find out who it was, so I can reach out to the wholesaler and make sure they're in our follow-up campaign. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. I'll come back to that one later. Okay, so this one's from a wholesaler that doesn't JV, so they're an automatic pass. Covington, another wholesaler that doesn't JV, so we're going to pass on that. Okay, so this one is from a wholesaler we work with. Now, I remember having a conversation actually with this wholesaler about this deal, and I think the seller is basically wanting retail price, but an off-market transaction. So, wow, we work Wi-Fi is today. All right. Yeah, so this one they're wanting about 1.2 million, which seems like it's retail price. So I'm just going to make a note here. some of my tabs here. I don't know what's going on with this stream. It's the network. I'm on everything I don't right now. Yeah, it looks like we're struggling here with the just the network in general. Can you load Podio now at this point? All right, here we go. Well, we'll just keep cruising here. Maybe the live stream is going to pick up again at some point. Maybe it's not. All right, let's see here. Yeah, even Podio is just loading super slow. Oh, the feed came back. Look at that. Possibly. It looked like I'm frozen there, though, on the deal I was just looking at a few minutes ago. All right, we'll keep cruising. Okay, so this one I already nixed. Okay. No bueno, because we don't JV with them. All right, so here's another one that my guys put in Podio, but did not put who sent it to us. But let's just go ahead and put the numbers in here and see what it looks like. All right, so, oh, it's an active listing, so it must have been an agent that sent us an active listing. So I can see the data entry. Oh, interesting. Okay, they got the agent name in here, but for some reason it didn't carry over to the actual deal. So based on this, doesn't really look like a deal. First of all, it's fairly clean, so I think this agent, we just hit her up and she just sent us her listing or something, but oh, it's a short sale actually. So yeah, not really gonna, yeah, ARV might be right around 500. They're asking 450 for it, so would be good for somebody that wants to live in it. So I'm going to leave this in a review state because I need to send Erica some feedback. I always send agents feedback even when they send us their on market listings and just let them know it's not going to be a good fit for us. Okay, so James sent us this deal. He's an agent slash wholesaler. I know he actually already assigned it. I saw a Facebook post over the weekend. So mark that as complete. Okay. Okay, Scarlett sent us a bunch of, well, maybe not a bunch, but probably like 3 on market deals last week. So I owe her some feedback on these. So let's take a look and see what we got here. This thing is probably a teardown. Definitely won't work as a flip at that price. So we're talking like low 300s ARV, low to mid 300s maybe. And with the amount of work that this thing is going to need, it only makes sense for somebody that's going to tear it down at that price, I think. Might have a view of the water, maybe. Slight view of the water. And development deals are just tough to try to wholesale, especially on market ones, because you're going to get I don't like to lock them up unless I'm somewhat confident that I can move them. And with a development deal, you're going to need to try to negotiate a decent feasibility period in there. And just so many more variables, I feel like, with new development deals and with single family houses, it just, I feel like, makes it a lot harder to wholesale those types of deals. So I'm gonna send her a message and just give her feedback on that. Switch that to on market. So she sent a few of these over. I think this is another one she sent. Yeah. So let's take a look and see, oops, what the numbers look like on this one. Fire damaged. Oh, wow. Oh, that's extra crispy. Yikes. So this one went, just on the 27th, that went pending already. I don't know if it would work at that price or not with this much damage, but they might have locked it up for less than that. So, and I'll mark this as pass as soon as I've had a chance to message her. I just want to leave the stuff in here until I've had a chance to give feedback on everything. Oh, this one I think looks very, familiar. Let's see if I recognize the pictures on this. Oh, maybe not. It might have been a different one on Holly Lane. Asking 289. 720 square feet. No way. There is no way they're selling this thing for 289. If that square footage is right, they are dreaming. I'm kind of curious if this one was already in our database. So 10125. 101. Oh, I'm sorry. 10215. 10215. Okay, this is the only time it's shown up in our database. So I think we've had one other one on the street before in Lakewood. That's why I thought we might have seen it. So 335, this thing is going to need like, I don't know, at least 60, 70K worth of work. Let's just plug it into the calculator. Say 75 to be conservative, and let's say 15% return. Where would we need to be on price? I don't think anybody's got to take under 50K resale profit, so we'll leave it at that. So they need to buy it. A cash buyer might buy it in like the 170 range. So I'm going to say around 50K on it, and they're asking 290. That's crazy. 300 and needs a ton of work. Yeah, so the thing is, like, some of these agents will just, like, when you wake them up or when they hear from you every few weeks, they'll respond and then just do a quick search on the MLS and send a bunch of fixer listings. So, which is fine. We'll just go through. The idea is just to go through and try to disqualify these like as quickly as possible. I am just having all sorts of issues, technical issues today. Okay, let's try this again. This is at 916 South Sheridan. Outside looks nice. Looks like we are. There we go. We're back. We're back. Let's see here. Active listing 315. ARV in the mid 400s. And yeah, inside is going to need some love quite a bit. So 1,200 square feet, I would say minimum 80K in work based on those pictures. So like, let's say 450. ARV, say rehab 85. So no margin, obviously, at this price. So somebody would probably need to be in the mid 200s, so we would need to be in the low 200s. So I'll say run a budget 85K plus, ARV around 450K would need to be around so if we need to be around 225, they're at 315. How long have they been sitting on the market for? 2 months, and they just dropped the price. So might be worth a shot sending them an offer. Okay, actually, I am going to move Scarlets. I'm going to move all these over to waiting it for info just to clear them out of my list here. And then I will know to go back and respond to her on all the waiting for info items. Whoops. Info. All right. Let's check out Chehalis. That's That's another one from Scarlet. Pretty far south of here. Done some assignments down that way. Oh, yikes. 1,400 square feet. Looks like a lot of original stuff. This is probably 150K rehab. It's like easily going to be $100 a square foot. Plus, yeah, this thing is like right next to the freeway too. So I'd be a bit hesitant about that ARV. I would probably pare it down a bit. So let's just say 325 ARV. Let's see where the comps are at. Are there any other ones that are pretty close? No, this one's not too far from the freeway. It's a bit further though. Well, let's just say 350 ARV. 6-month hold time. And then we'll say 150 rehab budget. So purchase price is probably going to have to be like on a deal like this, somebody's going to be spending 150 on the rehab. They're probably going to, I would think, want to make at least 70K on it. So purchase price 86. So 150K reno budget right next to the freeway. Mid 300s ARV. Position price would need to be sub 75K. And they have been on the market since August 12th, so over a or roughly a month, I guess. Oops, let me add that comment. There's one in Chelan. That's a ways away. Doesn't look like we have any details on it. Let me just see if they included any comments. Okay, Chelan's over in eastern Washington. Interesting. Uh, it says Chelan, but the zip code is Seattle. So my guess is that it was a typo putting it in here. So let me change this to Seattle. So client would take about $1 million for it. It's a duplex. ARV is 1.4-ish based on the comps here. And how big is the lot? So the thing is, in Seattle, you can potentially put a cottage in the backyard and then sell the house and the cottage separately. But it kind of hinges on the size of the lot. So 4,000 square feet, I think that's going to be big enough. So a tool I like to use here for getting info about whether or not you can put a cottage in a backyard in Seattle is this website. Okay, so it's a steep lot, so that's going to be problematic. And it's already got 2 units. So you might be able to put one more in the backyard, but the zoning would allow for it. But the fact that the lot is on a steep slope is going to be an issue for sure. So if you're able to put a dadu on the backyard here, in the backyard here, a buyer is going to be willing to pay a higher price because what we see here in Seattle is that people are willing to break even on flipping the house and then they make all their money building the cottage in the backyard. So, but the problem is if it requires a lot of site prep because there's a steep slope, then, you know, the margin required is going to need to go up. And a lot of builders don't even want to look at those. They just want something flat that they can get in and out of in 12 to 18 months. And if they're having to do geotech study and mitigate, issues with the slope and stuff like that, a lot of buyers don't want to take a look at this. But from a perspective of just a duplex, well, I don't know. It actually looks relatively flat, the lot itself. It's the slope going up to it. So might have potential as a Dadu deal. So I think it's worth taking a look at and getting some more info on this one for sure. So I will ask for some more info on this one. All right. Let's see if he included any details on this. It doesn't look like it. So we'll need to get some more info about what's going on with this deal here. Busy street. It's like 800K, maybe high 700s is a reasonable ARV. These numbers don't make sense for a flip. Let's see if a Dadu is a possibility. Oh, I know where this is. This is a very busy area. Not steep, no basement or garage space, but I don't know, it's a possibility. But still, even if a Dadu is a possibility, typically what we'll see is somebody might pay 80% of ARV for the property. Need to get more info. So I'll reach out to him and find out some more details, but on the surface it looks overpriced. Okay, this one actually is in Lake Chelan, but I am going to pass on this. It's going to be a tough sell, and these guys have pretty decent size buyers list themselves, so they tend to sell most of their own deals. All right, so don't JV with them. All right, this guy, this could be a deal. I saw he sent us a message earlier. I don't know if he had info on this deal or if it was something else that he was trying to sell, but let's see, he's trying to get 750 for this. Kind of funky. Looks like it's in a commercial area. Let's take a look at the. It's not going to be a great place to build a Dadu. The values down in this part of Seattle are a bit lower. Maybe somebody would consider it, but a lot of buyers that are building these things are looking in central Seattle and northward. Okay, this one does not have who sent it to us. Let's see if this thing does. Oh, Matthew Nixon is the agent. He might not have been entered in Podio yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, so I'll have to be put in there. I'm trying to get my guys to make sure that everybody that sends us a deal, whether or not it's on Facebook or a DM or whatnot, gets entered into our CRM so we have their contact info, and so we can also track who's sending us stuff. Because we want to focus on the people that are, working closely with us and are sending us deals. This one looks like it's gonna need quite a bit of work. Not very big, only 700 square feet. Probably low 400s ARV. I don't know about, it's the same 462, but if you're adjusting for square footage, let's say 425, and I think this is $100 a square foot. Reno, so at least 70K. Not 700K. Let's see, that comes out to roughly 18%. So somebody would need to be around 240. So probably have to be in the low 200s. At least K, Reno, 400s, ARV, and Zach price would need to be in the mid 200s. Giving some feedback in a bit once we've gotten through all these guys here. Okay, so this guy tends to send us deals that other people are marketing, so and it looks like we've seen this deal twice before. Saw it a year ago. Actually, we marketed this deal a year ago at 240. What are they trying to sell it for? 235. And then somebody else was trying to market this at 250. Okay. So I'll give him feedback on that. Couple more to go here, and then I am going to get to the follow-up with the agents. Bank owned. It actually looks like it's in decent shape, so I wonder what the biggest complaint about it is. Unfinished basement. It was foreclosed on in earlier this year. It's bank owned now. Yeah, so but I still think to freshen this up, to get to that upper end of the ARV. See, it's 2,000 square feet. I think somebody's still going to probably spend at least 75K on this. In which case the price is going to have to be mid 300s. $600K ARV price need to be in the shave low to mid 300s to make sense. Mark them for follow-up. Got a couple more here, it looks like. Let's see, is this the listing? See if this is actually on market or off market. It's not very clear from his marketing stuff. Oh, it's an active listing. Not really a huge value add potential here. Even if you were just to turn around and do some cleanup. there's just no room there to account for hard money and transaction costs, so it's not a deal. Oh, what is going on with the internet today? Try this again. Okay, so I need to find out why my guys are not adding these agents to Hodeo here so I can tag them. All right, last one here. All right, this one is from also that it's got a large buyers list of their own, so we'll mark that as a pass. So, okay, so I got a number of follow-up items to take care of here. And so next step is I'm going to go back to Go High Level. Everybody that I have flagged as waiting for info, I will give them the feedback that I wrote up about each one of those properties, just something quick. And so they can hear from me about what we're looking for and why this isn't a deal. But the idea is that, you saw here we had 15 deals, 16 deals come in over the past few days. So we want to disqualify these like as quickly as possible because like 90% of these things are not going to be deals. And so if you can get through the crappy deals as quickly as possible, can focus on the stuff that might be a deal or actually is a deal, or if, in this case, like all 16 of these are bad deals, quickly get back to them with a little bit of follow-up and feedback as to why these aren't deals. And then that'll allow you time to like focus on doing more outreach to find something that might actually be a deal. So we got one deal in actually over the weekend. I can show the numbers on that. We got this one locked up here. Let me transition back over here pretty quickly. This one's a duplex in Seattle. And this one came in a while ago, and this agent has been working for a while with the seller, and finally has this thing. Sellers are actually ready to go at this point. So I pulled some comps. This was currently it was rented. The tenants are in the process of moving out actually right now, but